Welcome to MTG Ectoplasm, your home for spirits and spirit decks in the world of Magic the Gathering. On this episode, we're going to be talking about a shiesty little devil out there, jumping from plane to plane, causing problems, and now he's in Kaldheim. That's right, you know who we're talking about, and his Trickery as well. And on this special episode, I got a Valentines deck for you to create and give to your significant other. I hope you're excited, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me on this episode of MTG Ectoplasm. I'm your host, Dwight, aka D Blanco, a medium that wears an extra large. You can reach me on Twitter at MTG Ectoplasm, or you can email me at mtgectoplasm@gmail.com. Please share your thoughts, your ideas, things that you want to hear on the show. I'm all for it. I'm here for you, and hopefully you're here for me as well. But like I said in the very beginning of this podcast, that's right, there's a sneaky little devil. He's opening those doors along those plains, and he found his way to Kaldheim. He originally showed himself as Tibalt the Fiend-Blooded in Avacyn Restored. Now, in Kaldheim, he hides himself as Valky, the God of Lies. Would that surprise you as a devil? He lies? He's a fake. He's a fraud. He's a charlatan. He's a liar, a teller of untruths, a fibber, a fabricator, a hoodwinker, a bamboozler. He will have you running amok. Tibalt, the cosmic imposter, is who he is. And unfortunately, now that he's in Kaldheim, everybody is losing their minds. Losing their minds, ladies and gentlemen. Cats and dogs living together, mass hysteria. It's not like we haven't had enough in 2020. No, he just showed his way to 2021, and here you go again. It's calamity left and right. And the reason why is because there's two new decks in Modern that have his namesake in it. One's a Tibalt Jund deck, and then you got this Tibalt's Trickery deck. And they're both played with the Cascade mechanic. I'm going to get into details about certain cards that we can use to battle against these type of decks. But realistically, I'm going to be honest with you. I think as a Spirit player that we are in one of the best positions we could in both matchups. Both matchups. And if you're unaware, there are cards that we have. If I don't know about you, but I carry what I call a spell book, meaning that I have my 60, I have my sideboard, but then I have extra plus cards for my sideboard. I have like these portfolios where I think I have almost near 300 cards of sideboard just for spirits, or if I want to play a different arrangement of spirits in my deck, meaning I can go from white-blue to Bant, I can go to a Death and Taxes mode, I can go to a more control mode, a tempo mode. I've played and manipulated my deck where wherever the meta goes, spirits will follow. But you know what? I think you've had enough of me running my lip about Tibalt. Let's talk about the deck, shall we? Now, we have Tibalt's Trickery. I'm going to start there because everybody in Modern is like, oh my God, turn 2, turn 3, right? Well, the cards in the deck are 4 Violent Outbursts. This is an instant, a green, red, and generic. And it can be played on your turn. That's a problem for us. That's a huge problem if they're on the play. Now, if they're on the draw, then, we're in a good position. Then they have 1 Tibalt's Trickery. 1. Okay. Now, if you're unaware how this card works, it counters a card, and then you flip over an amount of cards, and then you can, whatever card you reveal next gets cast. Well, what usually gets cast are usually it's a 3 Emrakul, the Ion's Torn. So how the deck plays, you play Violent Outburst, it cascades into Tibalt's Trickery. Tibalt's Trickery counters Violent Outburst, and then you find your Emrakul. Now, the problem with Emrakul is when he hits the board, how Tibalt's Trickery reads, it's cast, so that means it comes into play with an extra turn. Ouch. He's a 15/15. Ouch. So technically, it's like almost he has haste. He flies. Ouch. Can't be the target of spells, colored spells. Ouch. So that means, if you had thoughts of using your Path to Exile, sorry, not here. Next thing you know, he has Annihilator 6. If you don't have enough stuff on the board to sit there and get yourself prepared, ouch. Because you're removed when he attacks, or she attacks, or whatever it attacks, this colossal thing, you have to remove 6 cards from your state, your board, your battlefield, and into the graveyard. Yeah, that sucks. Now, this deck is only running 52 lands, so it's only running 8 general cards in there, regular cards, then 52 land. Now, they're running Gemstone Caverns, and the reason why is because they can play this card on turn 0. Even before anybody goes first, they can put it on the board so they can get their clock at turn 2. Now, there are other forms of this Tibalt's Trickery out there where you see the Simian Spirit Guide being played so you can cast it actually at turn 1. But I think the deck that I'm talking here is the more consistent build that's out there. So you got Gemstone Caverns come on to play turn 0. You put a luck counter on it, and you can tap it for any mana. Oof. Then you got Mystic Sanctuary that came out with Throne of Eldraine. What it does is it puts an instant or sorcery on top of its library. It comes into play tapped, and you tap it for blue, but they don't care, as long as you get that instant or sorcery on top of the library. Yeah, I had to get my breath there, because what they're trying to do is they're going to try to, if you counter their Tibalt's Trickery, they're trying to put that Tibalt's Trickery on top of the deck. That sucks. The next land they try to put in there is another playset. Now, mind you, the ones I'm saying are all playsets, 4 of each. The next one is Field of the Dead. Field of the Dead. If you don't know this card, ladies and gentlemen, and you're playing Spirits, oof, it's a bane to our existence, especially in Amulet Titan. It sucks. It really hurts us a lot. But in this deck, I think, it plays a little slow. And the reason why is that you have to have 7 mana or 7 lands on the play. If you can do that and you can pull that out, they're not going to be pulling 2/2 zombies for every time you landfall. Now, the card that gets me, the one I don't like, the one that's just really bad for us. Now, like I said, this matchup isn't bad for us. We win at an 80% percentage rate in Modern in general. And I think we will do exceptionally well in this against the Tibalt's Trickery. But Blast Zone, they're playing a playset of Blast Zone. Now, it comes into play with a counter on it. You can tap X, X, and it to put more counters on it. And then you tap 3 and it, you sacrifice the blast zone. And basically, if there's a mana cost on the board with the amount of tokens on it, it's destroyed. Now, this sucks for spirits, and I'll tell you why. Because it comes into play with 1. It sucks because then it can get our Ether Vial and our Mausoleum Wanderer. Now, these are certain key cards that we need to answer the deck. So that right there hurts. But we have other answers. And if Blast Zone goes there, if it takes up to 2, it gets another answer, which is Shacklegeist. Emerald Quill can't be the target of spells, but you can tap it down with Shacklegeist, which gives us an opportunity to smash our opponent. We just got to play quick so Emerald Quill does nothing, nada. Usually, the Blast Zone won't go to 3, but maybe because of Spell Queller. If we Spell Quell the Tibalt's Trickery, they're going to free Tibalt's Trickery cast, and guess what? Who comes out? Yep. So, Blast Zone is one of those key cards that we got to look out for. And unfortunately, currently, the way our decks are set up, we're not running a Field of Ruin or Ghost Quarter. But have no fear, have no worry. Even though Tibalt's Trickery is a brain-dead deck, you don't need any common sense to figure out how to run this combo. We have answers. Like I said before, Mausoleum Wanderer. Mausoleum Wanderer, turn 1, it makes them have to wait a little bit longer to cast a spell, because we're going to counter it. Spell Queller exiles Tibalt's Trickery. They can't do nothing with it unless they destroy our Spell Queller. And realistically, that's not going to happen unless they have a Blast Zone. Then that leaves Force of Negation. Now, I had to double check and recheck and check again to make sure I read this card correctly. Because I was under, I don't know what I was thinking. But remember, you can only play it on your opponent's turn for free by exiling a blue card. Remember that. You can't do it on your turn and think you're going to pay for free. No, you're going to have to pay the full 3 mana, the 2 blue and 1 generic. But one thing that really surprised me, that I was just like, oh yeah, just counter, it just a regular counter. No. It says counter target non-creature spell, which Tibalt's Trickery is. If that spell is countered this way, exile it instead of putting it into the owner's graveyard. Game over. Game over. Guess what? You win. The only way they're going to win is using, the Field of the Dead, because that's their only other win condition. The only other win condition they have. Other than that, they're screwed. Have a nice day. That's why I'm saying, against Tibalt's Trickery, we have a great matchup. Now, some of you are like, well, how about Sky Apparition? Can that do anything? No. There is nothing in here that's not a non-land permanent that we can touch. And because the fact that it has to be 4 mana or less, nothing. So, Emerald Quill stays in play, but like I said, Shacklegeist is the way we want to go with that. Now, what was Wizards thinking when they built this, that made this card? I do not know. Maybe they didn't think Cascade, they didn't think how out-of-the-box thinkers or critical thinkers some Magic builders are. And the funny thing, these two particular cards, the Tibalt's Trickery and the Tibalt's Cosmic Imposter, are making their ways in several formats, and let me just tell you, they're causing havoc. They're causing havoc in different formats, and I do see eventually this getting banned. But don't let your heart be worried, because in spirits we have answers. Now the question is, Dwight, how should we play this? Like I said, I would sit there on the play, watch what they do. I would play it like a control deck. I would literally play it like a control deck. Take my time. And if I have Mausoleum Wonder in play it, see how it works. And then, try to flash in creatures to protect and do what you got to do to, so if they say, oh, I have enough mana, boom, you flash in a creature, they can't do nothing. Just thoughts. Now, this is where I actually see a potential that Mystic Reflections might see an opportunity in our deck. And you're going to go, Dwight, but doesn't Emrakul have protection from colored spells? Yes, it does. But the way that Mystic Reflection reads is when another creature comes into play, it becomes a copy of a target spell. So you're not targeting Emrakul. You're targeting one of the other creatures. So say if you have I don't know, let's go with a Spectral Sailor in play. You target your Spectral Sailor, and when Emrakul comes into play, guess what? Emrakul becomes a Spectral Sailor. Hold on, no, I got that sound effect. Hold on. There you go. Yay! I did something right here. Yeah. So how's that feel? You feel good, right? You feel invigorated, right? We have answers to this. Now the next deck is this Jund Cascade type of deck. It's running Cruxa, it's running Season Pyromancer, Tarmogoyf, and our friend Bloodbraid Elf. It's the weakest card in the set. It's as soon as you see this card, you know what's coming. You know it's coming. The best answer to this, it's coming, but just know that you can spell Queller it. You can spell Queller it. It's not a problem. But the whole reason why they're playing Bloodbraid Elf in this deck is because of the fact that they're trying to fish out Valki, God of Lies. Now, for those who don't know, Valki, God of Lies is a black and 2 generic. But they're not playing it for Valki. As soon as you cascade into that 3, you can automatically flip them over, and then you get Tibalt's Cosmic Imposter. Now you go, Dwight, why should I give a damn about a Planeswalker? Unfortunately, Tibalt comes into play with an emblem that he gets to play cards that were exiled. Okay, not bad. But his his -3 ability, exile target artifact or creature. That means they get to steal our creatures. They get to steal our board. They get to manipulate while they're building with the Crux, the Season Pyromancer, and the Tarmogoyf. Not good. Not good. But we still have answers. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We have answers in the deck, which still puts us in a great position. And we still, if you want to put answers in the sideboard, I have them for you. The first answer is that we need to use the hexproof ability. That's right, our deck has hexproof. If they can't target our creature, they're basically screwed, and we can still smash them as quickly and efficiently as possible. So we put in Drug School Captain. Gives all our creatures hexproof. Delicious. A piece de resistance. You know what your opponent's going to be doing? That's right. They're going to be chirping like crickets over there. Now, if Tibalt attempts to target one of your creatures, who do we have? Rattle Chains. Rattle Chains is part of the 60, ladies and gentlemen. It's usually a 4 of. And if it's not 4 of, I really question your judgment. I am a fan of Rattle Chains. Huge fan of Rattle Chains. So there you go. Now, I'm going to put an asterisk. I know, like, I run more of a Dr. Queller type of package, but there's other people out there like Andre Segura, and I'm not besmirching him at all, so don't go out there saying, oh, he's talking trash. No. He's a good young man who is actually putting great content out there, and he believes in this next card, which is Thalia, Guard of the Thraben. I think it's a very good card. It's not in my main board. I have my reasons for it, but it's a very good card. And the reason why is because if they try to play spells and use the Thalia, it works against them. It works against them, but I find most of the time it works against us, and that's why I'm not a fan of it, but he's a fan, so you know what? Different strokes for different folks. Okay? That's what I learned as a kid growing up. Now, other cards you may want to consider. Now, this is the sideboard now. Now, we've already talked about the main board. This is the sideboard for this Jund package. If you wanted to, you could play a Draneth Magistrate, which means that you can only play cards from your hand. It can't be cascaded. Screws them over. Another one is a white and blue Lavina, Lavina, I have trouble reading today. Azorius Renegade. It means she has an ability. If you don't pay any mana cost for a spell, guess what? It's countered. You do nothing. So basically, it's an automatic shutdown for Cascade. You have 2 answers there. I think they're great. Now, there's another one I like. It's 1 mana more. But it fits the theme. And I'm a guy who likes themes. And that's Edaline of the Rhetoric. 2 generic and a white. Enchantment creature. Spirit. 1/4. It's a spirit. So just in case, if I need, if I'm facing an Emrakul, I can use this card and Shackle Guys, tap it down, Emrakul does nothing. But also at the same time, it affects the Cascade ability of the Violent Outburst and deals with the Cascade of the Bloodbraid Elf, because it states here each player can't cast more than 1 spell each turn. So if they're casting the Violent Outburst, that's the only spell they can cast. If they're casting Jesus Christ, it's in my head. The Bloodbraid Elf, that's the only spell they can play. The Cascade allows them to play another spell on top of the one they're playing for free. Well, no, not anymore. Not anymore. Good day. Good day to you, sir. You do nothing. Have a nice day. Arrivederci. Mushi mushi konnichiwa. Aloha means goodbye. No more. So we have answers, ladies and gentlemen. There's nothing to fear. Let everybody else in the magic world. Let everyone else lose their minds because they have 0 answers. We have all the answers. That's the only reason why to play a Spirits deck to begin with. It's a deck that has every single answer in it for what you need. There are going to be times where we have bad matchups, hands down. But if you play it right, you play it efficiently, you'll do well. That's why you win 80% of the time. Now, I've talked about these 2. And I think it's time. It's time that I slow it down. Get a little sexy here. Because I want to talk about my Valentine's Day deck. It's time to get sexy time with the Spirit Guy. All right. This is a heart-filled deck. You're going to hear a lot of hearts in it. So let's get started, shall we? You're going to see 4 of the Lionheart Maverick, 4 of True Heart Duelist, 3 Angel Heart Protectors, 4 Heart Warden, 4 Love-Struck Beasts, and 3 Zavala Heart of the Wilds. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, this is a white-green deck. Unfortunately, there's no good spirits out there, but I'm going to keep on going because you know what? We need to keep this sexy time rolling. We got 4 Colony Heart Expeditions. We got 3 Heart of Kirin. 4 Heart Piercer Bows. And we got Planeswalker here. We got 3 Ajani the Great Heartened. And finally, the lands. We got 2 Heart of Yavimaya, 2 Temple Garden, 13 Forest, and 7 Plains. Can you feel that love? Oh yeah. When your significant other gets this deck, they're gonna like, I don't get it. What are you doing? What are you doing? You're gonna go, honey, I love you so much. I put all my heart in this deck for you. Unfortunately, spirits ain't in it, but I'm all up in it for you. Happy Valentine's Day, baby. That's your sexy time with the Spirit Guy. Now, I'm going to do something new, something I haven't done before, and I'm calling it my shout-out section. That's right. Shout-out section. And this goes out to all you you spirit players out there. I'm calling you out. I want you to go out there and play MTGO or Arena and go out there and smash it. If you're going to play at your local LGS, smash them left and right. I want to hear people say left and right, that's bullshit. You heard it. You heard me say it once. You heard me say it twice. You'll hear me say it thrice. That's bullshit. And for people out there who do well, I'm going to shout you out here on the show every week. On February 2nd, we had 2 players 5-0 in a modern league. Liliana Deves and, of course, Dr. Queller. Thank you, players, for improving that Spirits is a great deck. February 5th, we had 2 more individuals, 5-0. Now, one individual here, top 32, January 31st, but now he 5-0'd. That individual did okay, did very well, but you know what? Came out of nowhere and first placed it February 5th in a matchup, and that's Darth Kid. Darth Kid. Congratulations, Darth Kid. And then I got to give it up to Artem Kutin. Now, mind you, God forbid, I'm sorry if I'm butchering your last name or if that is your last name. Artem Kutin, congratulations for 5-0ing. Thank you, gentlemen, or players, for 5-0ing. You're proving, hands down, that Spirits is a deck that's hard to beat. That we should go out there and beat everybody, hands down, no ins or buts about it. And I'm pointing the finger at you, ladies and gentlemen. If you're listening to this, I want to hear your name. I want to say your name out here. And I promise you, I will shout you out every week because I believe in you. I want you. I sound like Uncle Sam, don't I? I want you to go out there and kick some butt and say, that's bullshit. You know what? Got to the point of the show. Time to shuffle those cards and get ready for next week. Well, thank you for joining me on this episode. You can reach me on Twitter at mtgectoplasm, or you can email me at mtgectoplasm@gmail.com. And I want to hear from you, ladies and gentlemen. Please share your thoughts, your ideas. If you want to hear some new stuff that you want me to put in, let me know. You want to hear, we'll talk about whatever you want to talk about spirits. I'm in. Talk to me. I want to hear from you. Thank you for listening. I'll see you next time. And remember, that's bullshit.